Hello everyone. In this next video of mechatronics, we are going to look at something very interesting. RGB LEDs, the LEDs that you can turn them to any color that you want just by changing the values of 3 pins, red, green, and blue. As you can see here, this is an RGB LED. Instead of 2 legs, it had 4 legs. And typically the longest leg is either the anode or the cathode, depending on whether it's a common anode or cathode LED. This middle one is typically is going to be negative. It's going to be shown with negative, it's common cathode, and positive, it's common anode. And then the one right next to it, to the longest one, is red, and the two to the side of it are green and blue. So again, by modifying the red, green, and blue, we can change it to any color. So by the way, the pictures I got here and down below are coming from this amazing website, Circuit Bread. That is a really good website. And these diagrams are coming from there. Mine are the same as this, but with a little bit modification. The potentiometers that were used in that website are 1K. I'm using 10K. That's the only thing I have. And my resistors are the same, 100 ohms. And here you can see that I change my values for RGB. Instead of in the code, I hard code them. Basically, I'm going to read them from potentiometers. So these potentiometers are analog values, and the way I read them is by Analogue Read. So I'll show you how to read analog values into Arduino. And then once I read their RGB values, I send them through these pins of, as you can see here, pins of 9, 10, and 11. These PWM pins, I'm going to send them to the RGB pins of the RGB LED. And this common cathode is connected to the ground. If it was a common anode, then this middle pin should be connected to the high voltage 5. Okay, and then you see that these 3 LEDs are connected to the high and to the low voltage. So black wires are the ground, red wires are the high voltage. And then the middle pins of these pots, these red, green, and blue, are the ones that are coming into these 3 pins of A0, A1, and A2. So they read the values in. So these pins A0 all the way to A5, these are analog in, analog read. We read the values, and then through these pins 9, 10, and 11, which are PWM pins, we send the signal out to modify the RGB voltages and change the color of the RGB LED. Okay, so this is the overall diagrams for this. Now, if we go and look at the sketch, you see here, these are the pins that will send the PWM out. And I want to show the RGB values at the moment, so I write them on the serial monitor. So I set up the baud rate for it. I make these 3 pins output pins. Now, one thing I have to have you pay attention to is basically when I want to send the signal to the legs of RGB LED, I use the command Analogue Write. And Analogue Write is actually sending a PWM signal. It is not sending an analog signal. It is sending a PWM, which is a digital signal, but it can resemble an analog one by changing the frequency on and off. In a separate video, I'll talk more about PWM, or pulse width modulation. Now, the pins on Arduino that have PWM, they can send PWM out. In addition to their number, there is this tilde right next to them. So if you see tilde 3, 5, 6, these are the pins that can do PWM output. Okay, so what do I do here? You see, first, I read the values of the analog ins A0, A1, and A2 using the command Analogue Read. It directly reads those values in. Now, these potentiometers, they have 10 bits. And when you read them with Analogue Read, they are read as a 10-bit value, so they can go anywhere from 0 to 10 to the 2 to the 10 minus 1, which is 1023. But the RGB values that we should send to the RGB LED should be between 0 to 255. So what we need is to bring down this range of 0 to 1023 to the range of 0 to 255. And if you look at their maximum value, this one is about 4 times as big as this one. So what I'll do whenever I read these values, I divide them by 4 to bring them down to 0 to 255. And once I create those values, then I'm going to send them to those pins 9, 10, and 11 to the PWM pins. How do I send them? With analog write. As I said, this guy sends a PWM signal. And then what? And I pass those values to it. And here on the monitor, on the serial monitor, I show the values of red, green, and blue that you have at the moment, and I have some delay so it doesn't go super fast. So right now, you see my high value is red, and green and blue are small, so my LED is kind of red. Now, it's not perfect red, and the reason for it is this RGB LED has very sensitive legs, and if you get the legs to sit down on the breadboard very nicely, then you see it gets perfect red. But if one of the legs is a little bit loose, or one of your jumper wires is a little bit loose, guess what? You're not going to get those exact numbers to the pins, and you're not going to get the color red. Now, you see here right now, I have red, green, blue. Red is high, green and blue are low, and it shows as red. Now here, this is what I do. I'm going to tune down the red. I'm going to get the red to the minimum. Instead, I'm going to maximize the green. So I turn the pot, and there we go. You see, now my LED is green, because if you can see here, my green numbers are large now, and my blue and red are low. Now, green should go higher than this, and it's probably, again, a little bit loose wire, but you see green is getting close to 200 and so on. So ideally, if everything is working, I should be getting good green color, which you see I do. And so that was high green, right? And now I go down on green and go up on blue. And there we go. I got the blue color. And you can see, again, the blues are high, the greens and the reds are very small. So I got blue. Now, if I want to make it purple, I add some to the red as well. Okay. There we go. Now I got purple, because I combined red and blue, so I get purple. And if I want yellow, for instance, I turn down the blue and I bump up green. Again, if I can get this to this red one for me is a little bit finicky, but you can see now that it is almost yellow. Again, this first pot is a little bit off, but if I can get red and green to be high, then I get something closer to yellow. And if I make all three of them high, of course, I get closer to the white, which is what you can see right now. Okay, so now, of course, there is too much reflection going on here, but I assume you could see how the color of this LED is changing, right? There is too much, I would say, reflection on this camera, but you can see that I can change the color any way I please just by turning those three pots. So, okay, I turned the lights on. Seems like it is better with this one, right? So again, you see that's kind of white. And now again, let's get rid of red and green. And you see it is blue now. If I turn down the blue and bump up the green, you see it is green now, and then I can make it red and anything else that I want. Again, it has to be good solid connection. This red pot of mine is not so solid. so it oscillates. But there we go. You see right now it is red. Okay, so if I can hold it solid, I should be able to get a solid red out of it. Right now, it is not really going, but as soon as I put my hand on LED and make it a solid connection, it's better. Typically, breadboard is like that. If you use solder and have solid connections for the pod and for this resistors and the LED, you should get something very reliable. So hopefully this video was useful to you, and you see how I have the code to print out everything to do PWM, the analog in. It is called analog out or analog write, but it is really PWM, and how to use RGB LED. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.